It's about time that I talk about this. About time. About 2 or 3 years ago, after much prompting from cousins and friends and acquaintances and just the internet in general, I started watching Doctor Who, and it quickly became one of the things I like. So without further ado, allons-y!
Run!
It would take about 375 hours to watch the entire series from the first Doctor all the way to the current 12th Doctor that we have now. That's approximately 16 days straight without sleeping. What you've been seeing right now is a lot of pop culture that has to do with the reboot that started in 2005 with the 9th Doctor. So I would suggest starting with the 9th Doctor, and you'll get through the series really quickly if you really enjoy it. Series 8 of the reboot came out this last Saturday, and that meant a brand new Doctor. So in honor of that, I'm going to tell you the 5 reasons I'm a Whovian. Number 1. Doctor Who is a multi-genre show. Primarily the show is science fiction. However, there's so many elements to it. There is comedy, there is horror, there is drama, there's romance, there's action and adventure, there's mystery, and there's also history, because whenever he goes back into the past, you get to see sort of what might have really happened, and also you go into the future and there's the sci-fi. So that's what I like. It's not just a one-trick pony. It has multi-levels to it and a certain depth to it. Number 2, the Doctor himself. Here's a brief rundown of the Doctor. He is an alien from the planet Gallifrey called the Time Lords, and they live and live and live for long periods of time because they're able to regenerate. In 1963, we had the original Doctor, and when he decided to retire, they wanted to continue the show on. And that's where the Doctor's regenerations came from. And that's what I find so great about the Doctor, is even though he is essentially the same person, he isn't. Because you have all these actors who are bringing on their own take of who the Doctor is. And each Doctor has their own unique costume, their own unique catchphrases, even the inside of their time vehicle, as well as their sonic screwdriver, is unique to each Doctor. But in this reboot series, I've been through 3 regenerations so far. And let me tell you, they become more difficult as time goes on. I don't know about this David Tennant guy, but I'll give him a shot, I guess.
I don't want to go.
I don't want you to go either. So right now, after watching Deep Breath, which is the first episode of Series 8, my feelings are kind of mixed on Peter Capaldi, who plays the 12th Doctor. I still sort of miss Matt Smith, and you go through those growing pains of moving on from one Doctor and going on to the next. So, we'll see. I wish Peter Capaldi all the luck in the world, so hopefully he can win me over. Only time will tell. Number 3, the villains. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy than in Doctor Who. Oh, wrong fandom. Sorry guys, that happens to me sometimes. The Star Wars just slips out. A hero's only as good as their villains, and the villains on Doctor Who are just the worst. 2 of his main enemies are the Daleks and the Cybermen. I don't know, they sort of have this theme of sameness and that everybody needs to be the same, and any differences between us need to be eliminated or yeah, what they said. Even though I really dislike the Daleks and Cybermen, there are some other villains that I find even more creepy and sinister, such as the Weeping Angels, the Silence, or the Vashta Narada. Number 4, the fandom itself. I love that on the show it's very tongue-in-cheek a lot of times. It's able to laugh at itself. There's a lot of inside jokes, a lot of Easter eggs that you'll catch and will be like, oh, did you see that? And you're able to discuss with other fans.
What chapter are you on?
10.
11 is the best. You'll cry your eyes out.
Just a little wink wink, nudge nudge to the fans of like, yeah, this is coming, or yeah, we see you out there. And even though I've only watched really the reboots, I've never felt like people look down on me because of that. They're very accepting. And what's sort of amazing is that these fans span decades. This show first aired in 1963 and it's still showing new episodes now. So you have fans of all different ages and races and nationalities coming together and just for their love of the show. Number 5, the overarching message. It is important for individuals to embrace who they are truly and to not just be cattle, to not focus on being the same as everybody else so that they just blend in. The Doctor is told numerous times that he's not good when he travels alone. He usually needs somebody to travel with him. He takes that on in the form of companions. So he'll find people that he notices something about them. And it just seems like at first he's the immortal child who always wants to have fun and games with his companions, but really I feel like there is an ulterior motive with the Doctor, that he invites these companions on this journey because it's not only good for him, but it's good for them. In the time that the companion spends on the TARDIS, they find that they have this inner value, this inner power, this inner strength that they didn't know that they had. But you find this theme over and over again about how the individual can change the world. One person, whenever they stand up or do something different with their lives, or finally say, enough, I'm not going to be just part of the crowd, they're able to change the world. They're able to change time and space itself with one decision.
Who's she?
Nobody important.
Nobody important. Blimey, that's amazing. Do you know, in 900 years of time and space, I've never met anyone who wasn't important before.
The first episode of the reboot is called Rose, and it's kind of an iffy episode, in my opinion. When I watched it, I was like, am I really gonna like this show?
Pizza. Pizza.
Now look at me. I've watched the whole reboot portion of the series and I love it. I'm a Whovian. So just give it a chance. Just go through it and I promise you, you won't regret it. I'll see you guys next week.